Aloha, Namaste, Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to each and every one of you. Isn't it a beautiful day to be on the Divine Soul Journey show? Well, divine because we all believe on a higher source, divine, whoever that might be for you. Soul, we have a soul and spirit, and it's what drives us. I call it the breath of life as well, because if you ain't breathing, you ain't alive. And a journey because we're all on a journey. We want to be on that journey with you as well. And you're going to hear some of the stories here today. And, over the next little while, you hear so many incredible life stories. As a disclaimer, I just want to let you know this is not about religion, it's not about Taoism whatsoever. We respect everyone, faith, and belief. Now, when we do practices, because from time to time, I know you love to do practices with us, I just want you to prep you from now. And I want you, if you're lying down, feel comfortable, don't repeat anything out loud. It will deplete your energy. But if you sit up and sit back, I know our lovely guest today, we're going to be sharing. We do our forgiveness practice. I know you love the forgiveness practice and some of the cool stuff. We get time for that. And basically, you sit up and we'll prepare you for that, okay? But I have a surprise for you, so I don't want to keep you on much longer. And I would love, love, love for you to help me welcome Irit Furman. And Irit is someone I've known for a few years now. And she has an incredible story. And I wanted to share that story with you because I want you to know out there the shows we present to you and bring to you and the guests, they come from all walks of life. Some of them have turned to healing modalities and other modalities, or just regular people. No regular. So we're not saying that you have to do it, not at all. But what we're saying is that if you have something that is not working for you, stop, think for a moment as to why. So in saying that, before I talk too much, I would love for you to help me welcome Irit. And I'm just going to turn on this music a little bit because I really want you to hear Irit and her story. So Irit, welcome to Divine Soul Journey. And by the way, this is Dianne Ojar speaking to you, which I forgot to introduce myself, but that's okay.
Thanks so much, Dianne. It's my pleasure to be with you here and all the listeners.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time. So, Irit, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sure, absolutely. So, I am in my training a graphic designer and very artistic person, very creative. I also love nature, camping, being outdoors. And about 13 years ago, my son and I have decided to take a leap of faith and try our luck by immigrating to Canada. We are originally from Israel, and for many of you, you may think Israel, is the Holy Land. Everything is so wonderful in Israel. Everything is so beautiful, which is true. But in our case, we had some challenges, and we decided to try our luck and immigrate to Canada and give it a try. We only knew one person in Canada that welcomed us to his home and helped us in our first steps as newcomers to the country. And it was very challenging in the beginning. I have had to let go of a successful career as a graphic artist, as business owner, all my family is still back home, and I had to give it all up to try my luck in a new destination, cold and
Mm-hmm.
foreign country. So here we come to someone we don't know that well, and we are trying to get a life here, have a life for ourselves. So my son started going to school, and I was in a search for a job. And despite all my experience, I was not able to find a job. And it was very challenging for someone who, all my life, since I'm probably 12 years old, I've been working. So suddenly, not being able to make a living was very challenging, both on my mental health, my emotional well being, and so much more. Plus, all the immigration issues that came up, trying to find a lawyer, and all the process of immigration was very, very draining and challenging. And after a couple of years of trying, we reached a point where our application was denied and we were about to be deported. So at that point in time, my son had a classmate who wanted to celebrate their ending of middle school. And then my son told him, you know what? We may not even be here because we are facing deportation. And then his friend introduced me to an amazing, amazing person. And she invited me to watch a documentary. And the documentary is called Soul Masters. I watched the documentary. I had no idea what to expect or what is coming. I just, opened my mind and I was thinking, I'll just give it a try. She sounds like a very loving woman and she wants to help us. So I watched the documentary and it was about a spiritual teacher called Dr. and Master Zhigang Sha and his spiritual teacher, Master Guo. So the documentary is about minutes long and I watched it and I was amazed about this doctor from China who trains everyday people to become healers. And I never considered myself someone who is aware that I have a spiritual journey. I never considered myself to be someone who's spiritual at all, being a graphic designer, working in advertising companies. It's not something that was really close to me that much. But I just opened my heart and I decided to watch the documentary with open mind and take it all in. And when I heard that Dr. Shah has a center in Toronto and is actually offering trainings to people to become healers, I got very curious about it and I decided to give it a try. So at that point in time, I was working in a second-hand shop as a cashier. That was the job I found, and I stayed in that job for 5.5 years. So the day that Dr. Shah had his presentation, it was my day off. So I thought that's probably a sign that I should really go and meet and see and hear Master Shah and what he has to offer. So he asked, does anybody here has any issue they want to heal, some pain? I said, yeah, I have pain. Since I gave birth to my son, I have back pain. So he said, why don't you come up? And he chose me as a demo and he gifted me healing, spiritual healing and energetic healing to my lower back. And I felt a relief. There was a change. I did feel better. But also, I felt that by meeting him, somehow I felt like my luck has changed. And then I became aware he was teaching about the soul and that every part of our body, everyone and everything has a soul. And I was really curious about this idea. So I kept going back and listening to his teaching, to his classes. And my luck with immigration totally transformed. We, a little bit later, were granted a permanent resident status, and I became more aware that I am a spiritual being on a journey. And the journey is not about being smooth and easy and always happy. It's about how I decide to react to everything that is coming my way. Whether if it's difficult or fun and easy, how do I choose to react to that? And what do I choose to learn from it? This is, to me, being a soul on its journey. So I hope I answered your question.
Beautiful.
Dianne?
Absolutely. I didn't know that story. I don't believe I was ever around to hear that story. And by the way, for everyone who's listening, the music that you hear in the background is the instrumental version to the Love, Peace, and Harmony song that was given to Dr. Master Shah way back. I believe it's 2008, right, Irit? Am I wrong? 2008?
2006, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It's a good couple years. And he asked for a song from the Divine. The Divine gave him a song in a different language, a soul language. And then it was interpreted into English, and this is Mandarin and so forth. But this is the instrumental. So even if you guys get one thing out of this, and you really don't listen to anything we say, just listen to the music. It is a healing music. It's a very powerful healing music as well. But anyway, I didn't realize that, because one of the things we know is the fact that although we believe that it's one area of our life that we have any issues with, and in this particular case, it wasn't anything physical. I'm talking about the immigration situation you had, but you went there for your back. And what I want people to understand, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, is that when you work on one area of your life, because we may believe it's finance, we may believe it's relationship, we may believe it's something, but in order to get to that point, there's other things have to be adjusted, has to be shifted. And now you then realize that the stress, because everything is symbolic. I'm also a master practitioner in NLP hypnotherapy. So I know I am studying more about the brain and understanding the brain, because the body carries messages. And in her case, it could be stress. In her case, it could be many different things. So when she release the pain, it relieves other things that's causing the problems. Is that could be the case or not, but that could be the case in most cases for people. There's a messages that comes in and is stored. In NLP, we call it anchor to your body. And then, of course, other modalities might be blockages and obstacles and so forth, and stuff and drama. Is that, do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes, absolutely. You know, as Master Shah teaches, soul is message, is information. And when you change the information, you change the energy, and then you change the matter. And this is so true for every aspect of our life, whether, like you said, relationship, finances, our health, everything has a soul and information. So yes, I agree.
Yeah, and also the fact is, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So how we live our lives, and as business owners, or as parents, or career people, a job, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And there's a saying the world is not suffering per se. What is happening is us as beings are the ones who is suffering by creating the suffering for ourselves, which is and suffering basically means the inability to let go, release, or detach from. So when we come into something with expectations and we get disappointed, we hold on to those things, whether it be a job, a business, immigration, status, anything. And that's what it is. So we have to learn how to let go. And how Irit did it was by just opening her mind to look at the video. Now, I do believe listening to Irit's story, that was not by chance, because I know I've been in positions like that. It's not by chance. I was introduced in 2013. A friend, I don't even know what the friend is, and now in 2019, I just said I have to go back, and boom, there we are. So I do understand that. So Irit, thank you for sharing that story. But there's one more story if you want to. It gets even. She has many stories to share. And the one most recent, did you want to share a little bit about that one?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be happy to share.
That one was, it's not an easy, simple experience that you had. That one was more, well, let you tell the story.
Yes, I'm happy to share. So it's actually November 4 is the second year anniversary since my injury happened. So on November 4, 2020, I woke up in the morning, I gave my cat some food, and as I was bending to clean the area of his food plate, I felt this unbelievable pain in my lower back, and I was not able to straighten myself. I was just stuck the way I was. One leg was straight, the other one was bent. I couldn't go, I couldn't move. Somehow I managed to jump on the other leg and bring myself to bed and to my son to come and help me. I was so scared. I never had this feeling in my life. So we called an ambulance and they came, and it was during COVID, and it was kind of like the start of COVID. It was the first year of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and we were about like 10 months in, or like even
Lots
less.
of protocol. Lots of protocol. So much restrictions and protocols. I could imagine how crazy it was there in emergency.
Exactly. So they didn't let my son come with me to the hospital. So he had to quickly pack a bag for me and, throw my laptop in, throw my phone, my charger. We didn't know how long I'll be gone and that nobody will be able to come and bring me things. So they took me to emergency, and of course, right away, they give you this like COVID swab and all those protocol things. And I was hospitalized for 6 weeks. And what the diagnosis was that I have a severe sleep disc. And for the first 4 weeks, I was not even able to sit in my bed. I was it felt like I'm paralyzed. All I could do is hold myself to move from the right side of the bed to the left side of the bed. I was not able to sit. I was eating while I'm lying down. I was drinking while I'm lying down. It was so scary. It was just a regular Wednesday morning where I was supposed to do my work from home, because during COVID we worked from home, and all my life changed in that instant. So with time, like as the days went by and I saw the doctors, they don't know what to do with me. I felt I'm not getting any relief in my condition. They tried so many medications on me. I was receiving at some point 30 pills per day.
Oh, my goodness.
And I had so many side effects from that. It was so scary, and I felt really helpless. And at that time, Master Shah had a workshop, which I joined online, and I did it from my computer at the hospital. And I applied to receive healing from Master Shah for my back. And his assistant, Cynthia, she heard about me being in the hospital through other teachers, and she too sent me a blessing, which very miraculously allowed me to be able to sit in my bed. And for the first time after being in the hospital for weeks, I was able to sit up and eat my dinner. It was still painful, it was still uncomfortable, but it was already a big jump from just being flat on my back all the time. And then a little bit later, a few days later, Master Shah offered me the healing. And at that point, I was able for the first time to get off bed into a wheelchair and go to the bathroom. And apparently that was the condition that they will allow a person to go to rehab, because if you're not able to take yourself to the washroom, you're not eligible to go to rehab. Mm-hmm. I was also able to walk about 15 steps from my bed to the door in my room and come back. So after 4 weeks in the hospital, I was released to rehab for additional 2 weeks. And there I learned over again how to walk, how to take myself to the bathroom using a wheelchair. And very slowly I started to regain my power, my muscles, my strength. And I used Master Shah's techniques to further heal myself. Especially, maybe Dianne, you're familiar with that, what is called the say hello technique.
Yes.
So this really, really helped me, and it's so simple. And if I may share it with your listeners,
absolutely,
maybe wonderful. It may help anyone. You never know. So it's very simple. It goes like that. You say, "Dear soul, mine," and
Irit,
yes.
You know what? This is a good time. Let's actually do a demo blessing. Actually, my lower back is actually really sore. I've been changing cushions and cushions, sitting in front of the computer. So why don't we actually do it? Something right now to share with everyone, so you can actually prep them to get for the demo. We'll do the demo. You want to do it myself, you want to do it for everyone. It's up to you. Depends on what you're comfortable with. But everyone will get a taste of this. So, if they have a request, explain to them what needs to be done, and we'll do it right now. So why not do it right now, live?
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dianne.
Thank you.
So let us all think about something in our physical well-being that we wish to transform or heal. Maybe you have a headache, maybe you have knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain. Maybe you have something in your heart that bothers you. So we say hello to this organ. And the way it goes, it's like that. You can say it out loud or silently. Dear soul, mind, and body of my, and now you say my lower back, my knees. I love you. I honor you, and I appreciate you. I thank you for your daily service. You have the power to heal and rejuvenate yourself. Do a good job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now you can chant any mantra or any positive message that comes to your heart. Ideally, we would say, I love my knees, I love my back, I love my head. Whatever organ you chose, you can just send it love. You can also sing, I love you. I love you. I love you. And you do so for about 5 minutes. And you can do it unlimited number of times for any organ in your body, as many times per day. It is so, so powerful. I used it numerous times when I was in the hospital, when I was in rehab. It really kept me going, and mostly it empowered me to know that I have the power to heal myself. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Did you want to do the other part of it?
The forgiveness?
We can do forgiveness, explain to them what forgiveness is, how we give forgiveness to our back or the organs. And if you want to do the
Sure.
demo blessing, just continue.
Okay, sure. So another part of our own healing is, like Dianne mentioned in the beginning of this show, is a forgiveness practice. And why would we want to do a forgiveness? You probably all feel in your heart that what goes around comes around. And if we struggle in some area of our life, it's because we may have caused others to feel unpleasant in that area of their life. So I invite you now to continue focus on that organ that you wish to transform. And let us do a forgiveness practice associated with this organ or part of our body or a system. It can even be a relationship with a person, maybe a job, maybe your finances. So please follow me. You can close your eyes and visualize light in your heart or in the area of your request. Dear soul, mind, and body of all the souls that my ancestors and I have ever hurt or harmed, related to my back pain, you state your condition, please come. Please join me in this forgiveness practice. On behalf of my ancestors and myself, I humbly ask for your unconditional forgiveness for all the mistakes we have made that have caused you suffering. We are deeply, deeply sorry. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. And to all the souls that hurt or harmed my ancestors and I, knowingly and unknowingly, in the area of my back pain, you state your issue. I totally and completely forgive you for all your mistakes. You owe me nothing, and I invite my ancestors to do the same. And let us chant a short forgiveness mantra. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive One more time. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Now I would like to offer everybody a Tao hand blessing, which is the healer transmission I mentioned that I received from Master Sha 9 years ago. So you can choose the same organ, the same condition, or you can choose something else that you wish to transform in your life. So keep that thought in your heart, and I will keep chanting the same mantra for the healing. Positive messages will come to each and every one for your request. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And silently, we continue to visualize light in our heart or the area of our request. Very gently, we end the forgiveness. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank all the souls that joined us for this forgiveness practice. Respectfully return to your abode. And you can gently open your eyes, move your body, notice how you feel. Thank you, Dianne, for allowing me to share.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, this gift. I'm actually really hot right now. Unfortunately, I can't take off layers of clothes where I'm sitting. You know, because I'm sitting, I also believe that my lower back, because I was thinking about that earlier, because I have scoliosis, and I do believe that my lower back might be out of alignment physically. I mean, you got to look at the spiritual side, but there's a physical side, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you start to say the forgiveness, I can feel the tension move to my hip bone, my hips, the joints, and then my pelvic, which wasn't there before. So I know it's moving and dissipating. But I know also, I do know that I also have to strengthen my back. I have to do practices on the soul level, but on the physical level to strengthen my back muscles. I know that. I understand that because recently I had strained it doing some silly things, walking under a step, a storage space, and a couple other things. But once you feel this, you also have to move around so the energy can move around and move out the body as best. So also Irit, and do know that Irit is just a vessel. It's divine heaven's team is the one who is working through her, has given us this beautiful gift. We also have to do our part. So why don't we talk a little bit about, and we did in a sense, but just taking one step further, that yes, we're given all these gifts, but if we don't do anything and we ignore it and don't do our part, then we blame the whole world for our problems.
Right.
So just briefly mention that you said you did certain things. So you had to do your part. You got a huge gift, but it happened, but you had to maintain it. You had to work on it. So we always say, Master Shah, And then, of course, this is the music by The Love, Peace, and Harmony. We're on the Divine Soul Journey show with Dianne and Irit, talking about real life situations. And Irit, I remember when you were actually on the Zoom healing sessions, and you couldn't move.
Yeah.
I remember that. And now I see you. I saw you up to Saturday, Wednesday last week, and I'm
Yes.
saying to you that you said you were fine, and you would not believe you had that injury. And something so simple by bending down, and that could have happened to me too, because I was cleaning all the leaves outside this morning around my plants. Simple little things can cause excruciating pain. However, we can take it one step further. And have you worked on the fact that why this must have happened? Because everything happens for a reason. There's a message behind it. If you want to go that deep into it as well. It's a test.
Yes.
We call it a test. So have you discovered what that is? If you're
Yes.
comfortable talking about it. If you're not comfortable, it's okay, because many things are personal here. However, you want to share it. Because it's not just it happened, she got a healing. There is a reason why this happened to her. Because she had to work on certain things that may have happened to her in past lives, if you believe it or not, but it happens, and so forth. So there was unresolved issues that she had to deal with. So if you want to share that, if that would help everyone understand, if you're comfortable with this.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to share. It's so true. There is a message in everything. And what I discovered, why it has happened, there are a few things. First of all, lying in the hospital, I got to develop my compassion, and compassion in a way that I really opened my heart to other people's suffering. So part of my job, as someone who works in a wellness center, is to have compassion to people who come to us with life challenges, physical challenges, life-threatening illnesses. Now I know I was not compassionate enough. And while I was lying in the hospital, and there were, you have people in your room, you share your room with, your heart really opens, and that's what happened to me. I really opened my heart to humanity's suffering in a very, very deep level, because now, through my own experience, I really know what real pain is. I could only imagine what people go through when they have pain, but I never actually experienced it in such unbelievable way. So when now someone tells me I'm in pain, I can really understand, I can really have the compassion to them. So that was the great teaching for me. The other one was that I really came to a point in my life that I wanted more. More finances, more acknowledgement, more success, all the human-like things that are associated with my ego. And this injury really helped me understand that all this is an illusion. Wanting to earn more, wanting to be in a different job is not what I am supposed to do. It was very painful path to go through in order to realize that and understand. But that was the universe's way to teach me that I don't need more money. I don't need more fame. I don't need to boost my ego. I only need to serve more. I only need to help others to be happier and healthier, more empowered, to help themselves to heal, rather than keep chasing something that is not tangible, something that is imaginary, that is to boost my ego, rather than to boost my service. Thank you,
Beautiful.
Dianne.
I have to say something, Irit. Oh, I actually,
Yes.
about a year ago, I got my second shot, and that really, I was in bed for like 7 months, and that's a whole nother story. And there were some side effects, complications, and so pretty much my life was shut down for almost close to a year, 10 months to a year, more or less. So I understand that, and that was, of course, doing my spiritual testing and the purification, which helped a lot. And I began to understand things differently, and I don't bother with anyone anymore. But I have to tell you something. You're going to laugh. I hope you laugh about this. When I first met Irit, I was scared of her.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, we talked. But there was, and I have to say this, not in a negative way, in a loving way. Trust me, it's a loving way. When just before the center, before the pandemic, I don't usually give any details, but whatever. And you're always busybody, and we talked, but we didn't say much because I was like, okay, she's always so mad or upset or angry or I don't know, whatever. But I didn't think much of it. But recently, even the last week, there was a change. As you're saying it now, it came to my consciousness. I was like, oh my goodness, since the center opened back up, you're so at more peace, and your energy is different, and you look peaceful, and you're not rushing like you used to. Is that true, or is it just my imagination?
No, you're absolutely
Because,
true.
and I thought about it, it crossed my mind last week, and I said, oh, and then you came to me, and I was asking about something, and you got the information right away, and thank you so much for that. And I was like, that was so sweet that you came looking for me. And it's not that you don't do it, but I can see there's a difference in regards to you, in a good way. It wasn't negative before, but I could see there's a difference where, and we chatted for a while, and you always welcome me, and you always say hi, and we always chat a bit, but there was something different. And yes, it takes something for us to grow up, and it's not a bad thing. It has to do with compassion. And as you're saying this now, it's now dawning on me that we have something called the 10 qualities. We call it 10 Das. And one we usually focus on is the compassion. All of them are equally powerful. But when you, again, as we say, as we're talking about it, it's just coming to the forefront. When you have a compassionate heart, everything falls into place. So I resonate with what you're saying. I really understand what you're saying. And I applaud you for being open. And congratulations, because it's like our birthdays when we wake up from this illusion, because it is an illusion, that we're all of this.
Yeah.
And that's not what it is about. So sharing your story, I didn't even think about that. I was like, at the beginning, I was like, years ago, it's like, oh my gosh, she's always so upset and mad. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was different. It was different. But then things different. But you're so much more at peace, and I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all good. Don't worry. It's all good. It's all good. Because we know it's our growth. Mm-hmm. And this is why we call this show, by the way, I did not pick the name of this show. This name just came to me when I was even thinking about a name, Divine Soul Journey. And people say, why? Because it's a journey. And it's what we're doing, just like what Irit went through. It's a journey on a deep soul level connected with her spiritual beliefs. I did not know she was from Israel. I did not know she had a son either. So, but again, and her beliefs could have been her beliefs, and her beliefs are still her beliefs. She hasn't changed it. She may have tweaked it on a different level. And this is what it is. When you're chosen for something, you can't fight it. And Lord, do I know that. And you're surrounded every day, Irit, by some of the most powerful, beautiful healing tools in where you work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to be a focal point, so she's like, when you walk in, Irit's right there. That's the first person you see, more or less. And for you to be there, you were chosen to be there. Because it's not easy when you have to work through people's issues and their problems, and you're there as a counselor, you're there to help them, to serve them. And we thank you for what you do. I thank you for what you do for everyone. So I appreciate that. So tell us now, who are some of your heroes that you look up to besides Master Shah? And what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do that inspires you?
Thank you. Yes. So some of my heroes.
Oh, by the way, I didn't know she was a graphic designer. So I didn't know that.
Yes. Yes.
Hidden
Thank you,
talents.
Dianne,
Hidden talents.
For all your kind sharing. And
Thank you.
yes, it's a blessing now because we have 2 more assistants at the wellness center, yes. And there is less pressure on me to perform. And I really like what you said about we are chosen to do the work. Mm-hmm. And when I try to escape my path, this was my lesson. You know, the injury was my lesson to stay on the path. You know, my heroes are every person I meet, because I believe that every person I meet, you know, at work, on the streetcar, every person I interact with is my hero. Everyone has something to teach me. Obviously, you know, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say, sorry. It is said, there is a saying, and it's true, when we speak to someone, they are a reflection of us to a certain degree. Now, we may not see it on the physical, but no, because then you notice something. And if your body does not connect with someone, that's also a reflection. I was told this by Francisco. I said to Francisco at the picnic last year, I said, there's certain, and not disrespect to anyone, but there's certain teachers I can't listen to. And he's laughing. He said to me, you know what that means? I was like, what? He said that means because you have a conflict with them in another life. You have unresolved matters. Go deal with it. You know, Francisco talks. And it's true. So there's no negative anyone to teach you something and cross your path. So I totally agree, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, exactly. So every person has something to teach me. And naturally, all the people that are the closest to me, like my grandmother, like my brother, like my son, they are my heroes, because I see them struggle with everyday life, and they just, you know, they just continue. They just overcome that challenge. My son is only 23, but last weekend he closed his business that he opened since he finished high school. So 5 years without any earning, and he still had hope that his business will succeed. So to me, he is my hero for that moment, because he was courageous enough to acknowledge the failure and move on to his next part of his journey. So he was my hero, and there are so many heroes. You're a hero, Dianne. Everyone that we meet has something to teach us.
Yeah, this is the first time you're actually sharing your story more public in this a type of forum like this, right? So
sure.
Again, and you are. Listen, for those who are listening here on Divine Soul Journey, you can contact us at dsjshow2020@gmail.com if you want to share a story just like Irit. And it could be a simple story. You don't know who you're going to inspire. And Irit, my back is releasing, by the way. Yes, it's getting better and better as we're sitting here talking. And this is how we heal. We heal by talking things out. Strange enough as it is, when we talk things which really is not significant to what we believe is attached to what our issue or pain is, it's releasing. It went down tremendously, Eric. I'm telling you, I've changed cushions and cushions and cushions and so forth, and I could actually, especially when I sit up straight, it's reduced tremendously. And also know these healings, the blessing takes about 2 or 3 days to integrate into your body. So it's not like, it starts. But I want to applaud you for being our hero. And it's a big word with a very humble meaning behind it. Because people get scared and say, hero? No. A hero is anyone who teaches you something and will step out of their comfort zone, and there's no definition here. This is my interpretation, and there's more to it. And is willing to say, listen, guys, I did this. I was an alcoholic. I was a drug addict. I was on painkillers. I used to love food. I was a sex addict. I am still, but I'm on a journey. You don't have to be. The point is, you're on a journey to become a better human being. The point is, you're on the journey. You made the first step. That is a hero. So you all are your own heroes and your God and goddesses. The I am that I am, it's all you connecting to yourself to connect to a higher cause. So feel that empowerment of being your own hero. Is that true, Irit? That's just my crazy way of talking.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's perfect.
But it's we can talk about so many things because it's open up conversation. I would invite you to come back and let's have many open conversations about life in general and experiences, and come out and let's just talk about. We've heard the first part of it. Let's talk about some of the journeys. Oh, my back is really feeling much better. Oh God, compared to girl, you wouldn't believe how I've been twisting and turning here. But I feel much better now. But what I want to say to you, what would you like to leave with our audience today? What would you like to say and leave with us today as we wrap up here on the Divine Soul Journey with Irit Furman?
One thing that comes to mind that really helped me survive the 6 weeks in the hospital was telling myself everything is temporary. No matter how big our pain is, no matter how much we suffer, how much we feel alone, it's all an illusion and it's all temporary. And that was my rock, knowing that it will pass away. It will take 6 weeks, it will take 8 weeks, but it will pass. And this is my little tip for anyone who's willing to hold on to their journey. Thank you for having me, Dianne.
Thank you so much. And I just want to add on a note as we wrap up here is the fact pain, and when you have it's inflamed, it's just energy stuck in a spot. And you have to know how to break up that energy from your body. Over-the-counter medication, I'm not saying no. And by the way, we're not doctors here, so please do, if you need to go to get diagnosed, a proper diagnosed, the medication could be temporary and it helps. But your mind is a powerful medication and tool. And you have to believe, yes, it is temporary. And work with your mind to break up that pain and move it, because it can happen mentally. It can. So I will urge you to go and learn more, educate yourself. That's why we're here, educating people. That energy is, pain is energy stuck together. Massage it, mentally, physically, emotionally, and let it break up. Anticipate. And you can do that by visualize. Your mind is the power. It's a brilliant mind. But you put your focus, you will have your healing. Don't let the word healing scare you. I believe that's what most people get scared. Healing. Healing is a simple word. Don't let it scare you. Take it into your own hands and do something about it. This is your life. My back is feeling much better, Irit, and I thank you for that, because I am telling you, it was bothering me all day. But the way I sit and I lie and sit up and so forth. So I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing. And you know what? We should have some more of these conversations and talk about life and how we interpret things. We're going to do probably a series.
That.
Yeah, we can do that and interpret this and say, okay, what's some of the stories we can share and what does it mean? We're not here to convince anyone whatsoever. We're here to share our story with you for those it resonates with. So thank you so much, Irit, for being with that there and for us and for sharing. And I wish your son all the best in his next journey. And we're going to talk about that just now, what his next journey is. He's young and he's ready, and this is who we like to work with because they're the future, for goodness sake. And they're there to shine, and that's what we're here for. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Irit. Thank your son for being there to support you in your time of need always, because he's your rock. And your cat as well, because you need that. You need that. They're the companions on comfort, right? And I know it probably was not easy for him in the 6 weeks you were in the hospital, especially when he couldn't come and see you. There's protocol, restrictions. And that shows maturity, and you've done an amazing job with him. From what I can hear, and I don't even know him, I can already tell that he is a very mature young man. So all the best to him. And to everyone out there, thank you so much for listening to our little chit-chat that we had here today with Irit and myself on the Divine Soul Journey. And I hope you learned something. If it's just one thing to take away, go back and listen to the show on where it's available. It's available on social media platforms and so forth. And then do the forgiveness practice. I am telling you how I was feeling when I came in here. Unbelievable. How I'm feeling, it's unbelievable now. It takes time for this to happen. So I want to thank you, each and every one of you. And on that note, I want to say aloha, namaste, sitaram, assalamu alaikum, shalom, and good day to each and every one of you. In the words of Master Shah, I want to thank Master Shah as well from the bottom of our hearts, our spiritual father, who has gotten us through so many challenges. And it's incredible that there's someone out there like this who was put here for a reason for us, and it's no coincidence. So in the words, love, peace, and harmony, and open up your heart and heal your heart, for it melts all blockages on all areas of your life. Have a good day, and we honor you, we love you, and we're going to bless you. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.